I just want to talk briefly before I clock in to work about the healing process of experiencing a traumatic experience, or going through a traumatic experience. And I believe this came to me through the Holy Spirit telling me, like, Nina, you're still healing from what happened to you in 2016. And 2016 was a traumatic experience for you. And day by day, you are basically healing. You're growing. And that healing takes time. And this is more so geared towards the church. But, anyone can benefit, if you are willing to hear. And I have a history with myself of downplaying some of the things that I've gone through in my life and just kind of downplaying it as, whatever. But really and honestly, it was something that affected me greatly. And so, and because it affected me greatly, it caused some negative things to occur within myself. And if you shrug off the things that have affected you in your life as, all right, whatever, I'll get over it, it's no big deal, you won't heal properly. You just won't. You won't heal properly. And, we want to grow to where we are healing properly, And the only way you can heal properly is if you are seeking Christ, seeking the Father. And, and acknowledging Him in your life, And so anyways, since 2016 and me taking that leap of faith to follow God, despite fear, despite everything that, I doubted about the decision, I've made strides in my growth, and one thing that God has proven is that He's faithful. He's faithful. Like, one of the things that I can say about this whole journey is that God has been faithful. A lot of times we have this terrible view of God, I'm not gonna cry, okay? But we have this terrible view of God as somebody who, if you don't act right, or if you act a certain way for too long, that He's gonna forsake you. And that's just not His nature. It's not His nature to leave those that He cares about. I do think that everything that He does is to help us. Everything that He does is to help us. I do think that He knows who will choose Him and who won't choose Him, and He handles those people accordingly, because He's God. He's a sovereign God. But I do think that I do think that God makes every effort to be there for His creation. So anyways, but yeah, I just wanted to just say, it's just a process, you guys. When you see people who have gone through traumatic experiences, and traumatic experiences isn't always someone getting raped, or, a family member dying. Traumatic experiences, there's a list, a laundry list, a long list of what a traumatic experience, something that may not be a big deal to you, may really greatly affect somebody else. And I think that we all, should be sensitive to that, and handle people accordingly. But me, my traumatic experience has to do with losing some important people in my life. Rejection has definitely been something that I have been wrestling with in bondage to for as long as I can remember. And so when I lost those people, my best friend and her parents, who I considered like a mother and father or whatever, and we don't speak anymore, that really hurt, you know, because I really valued them and I really loved them, and them not being in my life really bothered me, you know, really did. And not being able to do life with them really bothered me, you know. Them not speaking to me really bothered me, because I'm the type of person where if if I love you and we're family and we get into it, okay, we got into it, you know, I give you your space, all right, and let's be cool again. And so once I decided to not be a part of, you know, their church anymore, all, you know, contact wasn't there anymore, you know. And I know that there's some things that have transpired as far as me speaking about my testimony, and I'm sure that things that I have said has probably bothered them, or they probably heard or whatever, you know, and it probably has bothered them. But, you know, I've had to do what I've had to do because this is what God is calling me to do, you know, for me to be transparent, for me to talk about what's happened in my life. And so, unfortunately, that will and that can offend people, you know. But I don't know, you know. Either way, like I said, it has bothered me that we don't speak. Like, we don't speak at all. And so, with that being said, that was a traumatic experience for me. And since then, I've been healing from that, you know. And it's taken time. And so I guess what I want to just encourage you guys is, if you are healing from a traumatic experience, give yourself grace to grow. Give yourself grace to grow in that. And then also give others grace. You know, it takes time. You know, there are still a lot of things that we all are dealing with, and that we all are still healing. I remember listening to Joyce Myers, and she said there are things that even in her 70s, I think she's 70, she's still healing from. You know, so it's like you're never not growing in this life. You know, so it's always good to just understand that about yourself. And the more you accept that about yourself, you can also be accepting of others' transgressions and mistakes and their healing process. So that's pretty much it. I hope that you know, you guys understood that, and that came across clear. That's all that I have. So I'm off to work. Love you guys.